Mark Lazarus, very good writer. He covers the Dallas Stars for The Athletic. Used to cover the Chicago Blackhawks for many years. I mean, I crack it open after putting the set list, at PA on the mic half hour ago or whatever. First time I cracked this thing open since then. And the first thing I see is a writer who covers the Dallas Stars. Now, he's supporting The Athletic here.
Yeah.
And we're Athletic supporters, correct?
We are Athletic supporters.
Dallas. The tweet is, it's a tweeting of the season closer by Russo Hockey.
Okay,
and Joe Smith. All right, so they cover the Minnesota Wild for The Athletic. Frequent contributors to 9 to noon. But here's the tweet. I mean, did you have to do it this way? Here's a thorough, brutal, and warranted excoriation of the Wild's turtling last night from @Russo Hockey and @Joe Smith NHL. Stop! It just comes from all angles. The slings and arrows of outrageous negatives.
The turtling.
Wow, man. And I was second guessing like some of these things I wrote down here, but then I see this. Here's a thorough, brutal, and warranted excoriation of the Wild's turtling last night from Russo Radio and Daddy Joe Smith. Quick favor.
Well, in fairness, I will say that Russo himself, even his post on X with the Kulak game winner.
Yeah.
Brett Kulak wins it after Kaprizov can't connect with Boldy on a 2-0-1. Wild blow 3-goal lead.
I don't know what excoriation means.
I mean, just I assume
ahead,
it
continue.
just
I'm sorry.
Tears it apart. Wild blow 3-goal lead to lose a playoff game for the first time ever, and their season ends in humiliating fashion.
My man's a wordsmith. I mean, I got to give him that. Excoriation disorder. A mental health condition characterized by the repetitive, compulsive picking of one's own skin.
Yeah.
Resulting in tissue damage, scars, and infections.
Oh.
Well, now he's stupid because nobody was picking at anybody's skin.
Well, I think, using the word in reference of picking apart what was a disastrous Game 5.
Everybody, stop! The conscious choices being made last evening in the Mile Get High City were so good for so long just to stay alive. Consciously opting to take the fight to the best on the block and opening their eyes early.
Off to Hughes for a shot. Saved by Blackwood. Boldy to the rebound. Shifting away from Nelson center. Johansson scores! Marcus Johansson, 34 seconds in. Blistered at glove side. And the Wild are off and running in Game 5.
Anybody happen to know why Blackwood, Mackenzie Blackwood, their beloved Blackie, why he took his glove off after that goal? Picking at his skin.
I always love that one.
Just tearing his skin apart. Why? He was excoriating.
I don't know what's worse, the game or just thinking about that.
And bye-bye. And bye-bye. And by the way, JoJo, who knew?
Yeah.
He scores goals.
I always love that one.
JoJo.
Shooting on net can lead to success.
3-0. We're up 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0 up. 4-3 down and out. You know, the Colorado Avalanche made a conscious choice to add a guy nobody seemed to want at the trade deadline, and it paid off.
Now it's Parker Kelly. Has a late help coming. Manson to the left side. A shot shouldered away by Volstead. Big save there. Kaprizov to the rebound. Chips it along. A 2-on-1 maybe with Boldy. Kaprizov in left circle. Has a lane. Cross ice. And Boldy couldn't connect. It's sprung ahead by Colorado. No icing. Natchez to it around the net. Martin Natchez shakes free. Found a man. And they score. Brett Kulak wins it. Series over. And season over for Minnesota.
Brett Kulak had gone 44 consecutive games without a goal. Anybody know that? Brett Kulak. Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him, and it can't be disputed. What do I mean? Edmonton traded him to Pittsburgh in December. Edmonton didn't want him. Pittsburgh traded him to Colorado 2 months later.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh didn't want him. I mean, Brett Kulak, my man's been to the Cup 2 consecutive years, and nobody wanted him. Hadn't scored in 44 consecutive, daggers the Wild, and nobody wanted him. Brett Kulak. I mean, this series starts with not a Molesky, but a Malinsky, and ends with a Kulak. I'm not even sure Malinsky got on the ice after that ballyhooed first game. Best Wild team in a quarter century in the history of the franchise, they tell us. Best Wild team in the history of the franchise, they tell us. All done. 4-1. 4 for them, 1 for you. What conscious choices will be made this offseason? Nobody wanted Brett Kulak. Wow. We're going to set up some talkbacks for you here momentarily. But head coach John Hines had this to say following the season ender.
John, I can't imagine what it was like on the bench there the last 2 periods, how frustrating it had to be for you, recognizing the team was just not going offensively. How disappointing is it to let a 3-0 lead in the playoffs disappear at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys, competed hard. I mean, this group is a pleasure to coach. You go 9 months together, basically, right? And great competitors, great character. Gave everything they had, and that's all you can ask as a coach.
From that second and third period, was it mostly what they were doing as far as dictating the pace and making you guys kind of sit back, or was it kind of maybe you guys would not be a little more tentative, I guess, in the second and third?
Well, I think both teams put a real competitive effort on the ice, and they had stretches where they pushed, and we had stretches where we pushed, and I think that's what you expect when 2 types of teams like this go at it.
John, from the things you talked about after Game 4 to tonight, how much did the first period look like what you wanted your team to do, what you wanted them to be?
Yeah, it was exactly like we were, like I said, we were ready to play. We took the lessons out of it, and, the guys laid it on the line. And, when you go after something like this, right, there's going to be 2 sides of the coin. One is, you're going to win, which is a great feeling, and when you lose, it's an empty feeling.
John, with 3 minutes left, I mean, it feels like you guys have full control. You're defending great, and then the script flips with Hartman's icing. I mean, how much you talk about details all the time. Nick blocks the shot. He's got plenty of room there. How much is that stuff, eat at you?
Yeah, I mean, those are the little margins in the game, right? When it gets tight, and we had a huge block, and, we got the icing, and then, they put some, they got the deflection shot, right? We knew coming into the series that was going to be a big part of it, and even Spurgeon's got it tied up, and it shoots right in and deflects. It wasn't like it was an errant or missed assignment. It was something that they do well, and when it mattered the most in that situation, they found a way to get it done.
John, how will the way this ended affect how you look at the season as a whole?
Well, I think you have to, it's a little raw right now, but, as I said earlier, I think this group was a highly competitive group throughout the year, stuck together, went through the ups and the downs, and, I think you'll take a look at the first series and take lessons out of that, and I think you're going to take some things out of this, and then you have to move forward.
John, was there more offense for you guys was there more that you could have done in terms of an attack and a push even in the third period when you had the 2-goal lead, as opposed to what happened? Was it a little prevent defense, or were they not allowing you guys to get much offense?
You don't play prevent defense, right? That's not how you coach. That's not how you play, where you want to be able to do that. I think that, when you look at, the first goal they got, right, was a rim out tip. And then they got the face-off play tip, right? We knew coming in that was going to be important areas of the game. And, for them, they got those in at the right times.
John, on the winning goal, the tying goal, the overtime forcing goal, it looks like Sturm has the passing lane. I mean, is that a play? Obviously, it's a great shot by McKinnon, but is that a play where Middleton's got to front there, or what could have changed there to prevent him from getting such an open look to the net?
Well, I think it was a shot outside the dots, right, from a bad angle. So I think it's, it was a heck of a shot by an unbelievable player. But I think when you look at where it goes in, it's, he had a pinpoint shot. But, you look at it, they have a net front, they have a bumper player, they have a backside player. We had all those areas covered, and McKinnon made a heck of a shot.
One more?
Krill was terrific in Game 3. No shots on goal the last couple games of the series. What did you see from him in the last couple? I mean, what they were doing to kind of slow him down?
Well, I think collectively as a group, Game 4 wasn't what we needed to be. And then I thought, Kirill tonight, I thought he brought his competitive edge and, played a style of game that makes him an effective player. And so, I really liked his response from Game 4 to Game 5.
Heinze, following the series ender last evening at Ball Arena. Anybody here sicky about 3.5 minutes into that thing saying, one more. One more. I mean, they just wanted to get out of there, didn't they? Here. So here we are again. A funeral for a sports friend. 9 to noon is quite equipped to handle situations like this. We include talkbacks, free iHeartRadio app, up to 30 seconds. You know what to do. Segments 2 and 3 are solely dedicated to talkbacks. And here we are again. A funeral for a sports friend. Here I go again, playing the role of Paul Bearer Allen. That's me, Paul Bearer Allen. Talkbacks. 9 to noon's therapeutic Davenport of love is back in play. Lay on it. And let's work this out together. Some conscious choice options via the talkbacks at the free iHeart app include, but are not limited to. What got us beat? What got us beat? Colorado just flat deeper and better, and that's the end of the story. Worst time to not have Brodin and Eriksson Ek against the worst team to not have Eriksson Ek and Brodin. Bettman's bogus playoff format. Bettman's bogus playoff format. Talkbacks. Maybe the conscious choice they made, according to the coach, to mostly play the wrong way in Game 4, dropping one they had to have. Talkbacks. Perhaps the box of all boxes ever to Vox. The white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only, and welcome to DIA. Talkbacks. Here we are again. Some of the talkbacks include, but are not limited to, all of those. And Slayton, Minnesota's Rochi intentionally bugging us.
It's Game 5! Here comes your Avalanche!
Wow!
Go!
Oh, come on, man.
Scored by number 27, Brett Kulak!
Super special.
His first goal of the playoffs. Tonight's final
Hasn't
score.
scored a goal in a year.
Colorado Avalanche 4, Minnesota Wild 3. The Colorado Avalanche are headed to the Western Conference Final.
That was Rochi. I mean, he was intentionally getting under somebody's skin there, wasn't he?
And he was texting me last night. Oh, my goodness, Rochi. Love him.
What was he saying?
Just freight train, Avalanche, the inevitable. Best of luck to the Minnesota Wild.
Uh-huh.
Tough not having Ecky and Brodsy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat the best. President's Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be.
Is this our lot in life?
I was born to grieve.
Julius.
Is this our lot in life?
Grieve is what I do.
Let off steam on the therapeutic Davenport of love.
Ever since the night.
Kaprizov had one dominating game out of the 5. Doesn't bug me, but it might bug you.
Thought I'd take a chance.
They won the series with a guy for whom they traded at the deadline. And one of our deadline ads, McCarron, had a crack early OT to send it back to St. Paul, and he whiffed on it. Midzi, likable, shirtless.
Yeah, tarps off.
Loves Gorgie. Bad series. Can't imagine he was in the right spot on the McKinnon snipe of perfection, but we're not hockey guys, so I guess whatever, right? Talkback options. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And by the way, this may have been the shiniest toy with the most potential in the history of Minnesota Wild hockey. But how can one with a straight face call it the best in the history of the organization when it loses 4-1 in the second round? I'm struggling with that right now. The best team in the history of the Minnesota Wild was the group that advanced to one step from the Stanley Cup. Not the 2021-22 team that had the most wins, points, and goals scored in the history of the team. One and done. Home ice versus the Blues, lost the series 4-2. 02-03 is the best in the history of the team because it actually gave fans hope it could get to the Cup. Why? Because it advanced to a round from the Stanley Cup. Down 3-1 to the Avs, won the final 3 of the series, including Game 6 and 7 in overtime.
If only for a time, the world was ours to capture.
When?
The world was yours and mine.
When?
It's only yesterday.
Yesterday sucked.
For our love, I'm
Maybe we were born to grieve. 02-03 is the best team in the history of the Minnesota Wild because it actually gave fans hope it could get to the Cup. I mean, okay, then talkbacks, right? That's what they're there for. Hit us with, yeah, but this current Avs team has McKinnon. Fair. Do you happen to know the team Walsey, Bruno, Darby, and the gang beat in 03 had 4 freaking Hall of Famers? Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Rob Blake, and Patrick Waugh. Yeah, I'm sure that was just real easy to win that series, right? Down 3-1 the next series to Vancouver, they win 3 in a row, including Game 7 at Vancouver. Those guys had 2 Hockey Hall of Famers in Daniel and Henrik Sedin. Then we get swept by the Ducks and we score 1 goal in 4 games. We can talk about that later. But they did it a series in front of the Stanley Cup finals. So, yes. 9 to noon is not stupid. We know there's much on which to build moving forward. Yes, we know that. We see it every year. We say it every year. We see it every year. But if this truly was the best Wild team in 25 years of state of hockey lore, doesn't it then have to be considered the most underachieving team? Given a 4-1 second round series loss, tell me I'm wrong. I mean, there's much on which to build moving forward, but we're not casting our gaze. Those 02-03 guys may not have had the glitz and Olympic gold glitter these guys possess, but they had something inside them that gave what still are the greatest memories in the history of Minnesota Wild hockey. And we're in the sports diversion game for the memories, not for the shine. Talkbacks up until 10. Have at it. Thank you, Timber Tech. Here's the cash thing.
The Fan, along with BigDeck.com, want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is, it's fun. Oh, okay. Well, happy Thursday to you. The keyword fun, it would be fun to win, and you could win by entering the keyword fun. Just do that now at KFAN.com.
I was born to grieve.
What up, you guys? What up, Nordo? Morning, 9 to noon. Charles, St. Paul, capital city. 34 seconds in. Johansson score, goal. What? Game 6, I can feel it. Let's go. And then we play prevent defense for the rest of the game and only do 7 shots? L. Come on, Wild. What are we doing? What is the goal here? Wow.
Thanks, Charles. Yeah, we got outshot in the second period, 8-3. And the onslaught of Avalanche of Avalanche hockey effort and acumen was duly noted. And Danila Yurov had a high sticking penalty nearing the end of the second period.
Yeah, on Makar.
So we go on the penalty kill, and we're up 3-1. And we kill the vaunted Avalanche's penalty.
PK of the season, right?
PK of the season. That's how I look at it. I mean, because we just all, and this is not we're Minnesota sports fans, so we can cast our gaze the way of, pardon the pun, avalanches that are about to just envelop us. Well, that's not the case here. The case here is game flow. Game flow had switched. I don't know if we were getting tired. I don't know what was happening.
We were on tilt, man.
We were on tilt. We were fixing to go sideways, too.
It's crazy, too. You can sell yourself out of that period once you kill that penalty. Like, wow. All things considered, there weren't a ton of high-danger chances in the second period. Mm-hmm. We just offered nothing offensively for 20 minutes. So you're on tilt,
right,
but you're going into the final frame up 2.
Right.
And just need a spark. And to Charles's point on the talkback, 7 total shots.
Yeah.
In the second and third period.
What was that tweet you sent me last night or this morning?
Yeah, that's a record.
It's like we're up 3-0. We're the only team in the history of the NHL in a Stanley Cup playoff game to be up 3-0, then 3-0 in a game. Then what?
So it's OptaStats, I think is what it is, and it says that the Wild are the first team in an NHL playoff game to end the first period up 3-0, and then manufacture 10 or fewer shots over the remainder of the game and lose said game.
Stop! Wow.
Yeah, 7 total shots on net for the final 40 plus, 352 into OT.
Minnesota WILD. There are those today who want the name changed to WILLLLD. How about when I texted you last night up 3-0 with montage suggestion for today? Well, I mean, yeah, but you responded. You were exciting, too. I mean, Nordo and I go to texting. We're up 3-0. I was like, back on my feet again?
Yeah.
What is that? John Waite? Something, the babies? Something like that?
The babies.
Back on my feet again. Nordo fires right back with, staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 ha. Staying alive. Staying alive.
Yeah, the actual... Well,
but then it took you 30 seconds to come to your senses and get me to my senses, because then you hit me with a dude, it's not over by any stretch.
Yeah.
So we stopped.
Yeah, and first, what I was really excited about, this is at 8:12, Wischusen potentially in play for Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Jets Vox, high-end hockey TV Vox.
No, we had Eric Johnson, too. I forgot to tell you that.
And then you hit me with, need 2-goal lead after 40. They'll probably come charging.
Yeah, I stole that take from Gorg.
And then I write, that's why I said potentially this doesn't feel over yet.
Yeah.
We go montaging. Still too early.
Yeah.
Entire second period has been a tidal wave.
Yeah.
And then it was various minutia before the tidal wave did crash, and here we are, drowning in it.
I was born to grieve.
Yeah. Certainly are.
Grieve is what I do.
So I hit you with those texts. You set me straight. Then Lonnie, the full-time package handler, texts me with 5 minutes to play in the game. He writes, I feel good about this one.
I was born to grieve.
30 seconds later, Drury scores.
I was born to grieve.
I mean, meanwhile, it's tied.
Yeah.
I'm all tired and negative and keep thinking about the loud ping when Faber hit the crossbar.
Oh, my goodness.
The loud ping when Faber hit the crossbar. McKinnon snipes. We miss by a single inch. Brett Kulak, nobody wanted him.
I was born to grieve.
Talkbacks.
I knew as soon as I hit send on a message to you last night, if we don't close this out in regulation, we will lose. It's almost as if I set the McKinnon goal in motion.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Talkbacks.
But see then we had that nice 2-on-1, and here comes McCarron.
Wild have 11 all time.
Yes.
Stanley Cup playoff wins. They've got a 2-1 developing. Boldy right side center. McCarron banned on it. And it goes to the corner.
Banned on it.
McCarron whiffs. And the Avs survive an early 2-on-1. Less than a half minute into overtime.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think it was Boucher.
Right there.
And Kenny Albert, Edzo, beloved Booch, one of the guys. Fantastic at what they do. When we hear games are on TNT, we're like, booyah. We love it. But Booch or Edzo, one of them was like, Boldy's pass was a little too much in front of McCarron.
Yeah.
Like, bruh. I mean,
come on.
After that second period tidal wave, we kill that penalty. The full-time package handler sends a text saying, I'm feeling good about this one. Drury scores 30 seconds later. I mean, everything's just flying in our faces. We have a 2-on-1 with a gold medal winner set to pass to a trade deadline acquisition.
Yep.
I thought he fell. I mean, I thought he lost his edge and fell live. I'm like, he just went Devin Setaguchi on this thing in Montreal in a shootout.
A little bit.
But he didn't. No, he just whiffed like Tsuyoshi Nishioka.
Well, he
just whiffed.
I heard that too, and I was watching the TV, and at first I'm looking and I'm saying, yeah, you're right. That's a tough spot for him with his size and his the way his body's positioned. Then you kind of look at it. McCarron had wound up for a Brian Rolston-esque slap shot, like 4 feet from the net.
He was excited.
The puck was not too far in front of him.
He wanted to come back to St. Paul.
I mean, he was going to, I mean.
He whiffed.
Wedgwood was going to have to be taken off on a cart if he connects on that thing that close to the net.
Yes.
A little more finesse, maybe in that spot. McCarron, by the way, was overall, I thought he was tremendous last night, being elevated in that spot.
How about Nico Sturm?
Oh, no.
I mean, Nico Sturm, 2 assists on the Foligno goals.
And the goal in Game 4.
Yep, when Brock Nelson got lazy and he popped up out of the corner and nobody paid attention to him and he gave us hope, he gave us life.
Rose to the occasion.
You see, that's why I am not of the confrontational or contrarian variety. I don't sit down to craft an opening segment thinking, I'm so pissed off at those who keep throwing in my face this is the best Wild team in the history of the organization, when I'm like, and I didn't, I never fired back when I would hear that because I didn't want to be the buzzkill in the room. I'm sorry. The 02-03 team may not have made as much money collectively as one player on this team. It may not have had the Olympic gold medal winning shiny toys this team has. It had something that came back from 3-1 against the Lanch with 4 Hall of Famers, came back 3-1 against the Canucks, found a way to win that one on the road in advance, and get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That's the best team in the history of Minnesota Wild hockey. And we got talkbacks to tell me I'm wrong. We got KG in here at 11 o'clock. He may have a different opinion. We're brothers. If he does, that's fine.
I just wonder if it's, because I'm with you.
This is a shiny toy generation. And that was not a shiny toy team.
I'm with you. They were a winning team, the 02-03 squad, in terms of their playoff success, getting to the Western Conference Final. Is there any chance that the shiny toy aspect of it just means talent? I mean, across the board, this incarnation of the Wild would be considered more talent.
Sure.
Versus better.
Hey,
so maybe it's just the verbiage that we're
See, if I'm
a
Wild fan and I think this is the best overall team in the history of Minnesota Wild hockey, I don't want to think that because that subsequently makes it the most underachieving team in the history of Minnesota Wild hockey. So you want that too? As Norda would say, you want all that smoke? There it is.
That's exactly what I would say.
You really want that smoke?
You want that smoke?
As Norda would say, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Honestly, it's okay, most talented.
The reality is...
Boy, that's great when you have a lot of talent and you get bounced 4-1. You want that too? How about it just is a team that has potential to become dramatically better, and there are plenty of things off which to build, but the best team in the history of the Minnesota Wild, maybe not the most talented, maybe not the glitziest, the shiniest of toys and the richest. It's not the richest, but it's a team that gave you the best hope to win a Stanley Cup because it got to the round right in front of it. And it found a way to bounce an Avs team that had 4 Hall of Famers in the shape of Sakic, Forsberg, Blake, and Patrick Waugh. Ain't no Wedgie, ain't no Blackie going to the Hall of Fame. McKinnon's going to the Hall of Fame. McCarr might go to the Hall of Fame. Natchez, who knows? Landeskog, who knows? Sakic, Forsberg, Blake, and Waugh are in the Hall of Fame.
How do you let the best player on earth, McKinnon, sit there, collect his thoughts, chill, which was like an eternity for McKinnon?
How do you not feel bad for Wally on that goal?
Play.
How do you not feel bad for Wallstedt on that goal? You can't do a better job than he did, especially with Midzi messing up the block.
Yeah.
Middleton messes up the block. That McKinnon goal is one of the greatest snipes into a tiny area you're ever going to see watching hockey goals. It's a 97% stop. I feel bad for Wally, I really do.
Talkbacks.
Hey, PA, boys. I feel like I speak for all Wild fans and Minnesota sports fans in general that once they made that a one-goal game late, you almost knew that a goal was coming. You know, when McKinnon finds that small space in the upper left corner, it was like there was no emotion from me, at least. It was like, yep, that's on par for Minnesota sports. Just feels like a Minnesota team will never get over the hump, but maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
I was born to grieve.
The fans at Ball Arena, Bednar pulled his goalie twice in this series. He pulled his goalie in the game twice in this series, and they still won it 4-1. How's everybody feeling about that conscious choice to not play the right way in Game 4? Everybody feeling good about that? The fans at Ball Arena made a conscious choice to not chant, "Wedgie, Wedgie, Wedgie." They weren't chanting it until overtime began. Why? Because at Ball Arena, some of those fans were so whacked on 50-milligram gummies, they were chanting "Blackie, Blackie," even though he'd been pulled from the game and they had no idea. Crazy, zany, psychedelic Avalanche fans.
I always love that one.
Hey, this is Nick from Richfield by way of Lakeville. Huge season. So fun to watch the Wild this year. Hope we can keep Husey. If we can't, use some of that money to sign a big gunner center, top 6. Definitely needed. Wally was also a huge force as well. Hope we can hang on to him. Gus Bus's big contract kicks in next year. That's going to be tough to swallow if he can't turn things around. Christmas colors, so fun to watch. Go Wild.
Great talk back.
PA? Well, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't like you.
Great talk back, and that's what happens on a One Last Cry Thursday. You get Kaprizov shoot the puck this.
Yeah.
McCarron don't whiff that. Greatest team history of organization this, and poor Wally that. But then you'll start to get a stream of talkbacks with those who are like, "Thank you, Christmas colors. Thank you for the gift that was this season. Thank you for bringing in Husey. Please re-sign Husey. And I'm going to be with you no matter what happens with this goalie situation, because Wally, at least for now, proved to be the best of the two. And the other guy has a 5-year deal that starts next year with a no trade."
PA? Well, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't like you.
More talkbacks next.
9 to noon on the Fan.
Outside, a shot, shouldered away by Volstead. Big save there. Kaprizov to the rebound. Chips it along. A 2-on-1 maybe with Boldy. Kaprizov in left circle. Has a lane. Cross ice. And Boldy couldn't connect. It's sprung ahead by...
Morning, PA. Morning, Nordo. Justin from Iowa.
Morning.
Man. What a heartbreaker. That sucks. Nico Sturm had a great game. Kirill had a great game. Didn't show up in the box score, but I got to see him shoot that shot with the 2-on-1 with Boldy.
Yes.
You're the face of the franchise. I got to have you shoot that. Just like McKinnon shot it and got them to overtime.
Yeah, same.
Big-time players make big-time plays, so I need you to shoot.
Same. But I love having Kirill Kaprizov on the team. And I don't care what he makes, because I can't care what he makes. Because if I care what he makes, then it just becomes frustrating when you think about fortifying the village.
Right.
I just love having him on the team.
He's awesome.
I love having Bolds on the team. I love having Husey on the team. I'm low-key a Ryan Hartman guy, even though at times he didn't make some of the greatest decisions in the history of hockey, including an icing late in last night's game. So it's not. This is the frustration covenant. We were born to grieve. We were born to fall in love and know every word of Brian McKnight's One Last Cry. Whether it's 9 sacks against the Rams, whether it's Kyrie Irving averaging like what felt 80 points a game against the How. Who did we lose to in the Western Conference Finals last year? Oh, OKC. Oh, that's right.
Dallas Mavs the year before, yeah.
Yeah, it's Kyrie the year before, and last year was everybody and not us. Finchy has a big one tomorrow night. And now we howl. We howl. Finchy has a big one tomorrow night. Down 3-2 in that series. They just got busted up by 30 points. So go Finchy and go Timberwolves tomorrow night. With Nathan McKinnon, that name just came up. When he scored that goal, the snipe, it was a snipe of perfection. It was an amazing goal. We couldn't clear the zone for an hour. We couldn't clear the zone forever. McKinnon has the puck in the OV circle. Midzi went down too early, and McKinnon's snipe was out of perfection. It's 3-3. It was 3-3 after that. The game winner, Brett Kulak, again, it just needs to be reminded that nobody wanted him. Got traded in December. Got traded again in February. Nobody wanted him. Been to the Cup 2 consecutive years. Nobody wanted him. Hadn't scored in 44 consecutive games. Nobody wanted him. Daggered the Wild. Brett Kulak. Talkbacks.
Talkback machine, free iHeartRadio app. Give us up to your best 30 seconds.
Wild lost last night. The only thing I can say is you can't play Faber and use 30 minutes a game and expect to win out the series. Hines has no trust in his other defensive pairings, and this was inevitable. They were just gassed, and it was bound to happen. Off season, they need to find trust in their defensive pairings, and they need depth. Even though Brodin and Eck were out, they need more help. Go Wild.
Okay, I'm with you, man, and I love you. And I love that you listen to 9 to noon and FM 100.3 KFAN. Hey, sports leader. We love that. AM 1130 KFAN, FM 100.3 KFAN. We love that. Thank you for your longstanding dedication, probably back to the Bill Bates guy days when the Commonwealth used to give out monikers, BBG, we. Thank you. But you just talked out of both sides of your mouth. With respect. Does Heinze need to better trust his blue line depth? Or do we need blue line help? Because both aren't going to happen at the same time. And with respect, and I'm a Middleton guy, I like Jake. I like shirtless Jake saying thanks, Corgi. I like it. I like him, man. He's cool. Terrible series.
Awful.
And so, okay, so we're going to play him more?
Well, I think that was his point, though.
Well, what about Petrie? We're going to play him more? Want to play Petrie more? Want to play Damon Hunt more? Honestly.
I think Jeff Petrie has an overtime winner in the playoffs.
Okay, great. Maybe playing them more is the right answer, is what I'm saying. So the first part, okay, so you need Colorado's blue line depth was less than ballyhooed, and those who formulated that opinion were wrong because their blue line depth came through. Kulak's a blue liner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Kulak is a blue liner for whom they traded at the deadline. That's blue line depth. Oh, yeah, he is, because when Zuki grazed Cale Makar's right arm, and then Avalanche Nation acted like it was some medieval torture treatment when he had to go back to the locker room. That was crap, and that bugged me too. But it can't be bugged by that because we got bounced. And then the Avs in the third period were trying to run down Zuki. Stop chasing after Zuki's diminutive, and he grazed Makar.
Oh, he had been hurting long before that.
Great. That's great. Makar leaves, and who gets his minutes? Kulak. Kulak.
Good
and
depth.
who wins the game? Kulak. The player nobody wanted.
I just think that in fact was the talkbacker's point. Like to have to run out Faber and Hughes for 30 minutes a game because you don't trust in your other options.
Yeah.
That this summer, on the to-do list, whatever your off-season grocery list is, that there has to be something there. And as much as we love tarps off with Midzi, just brutal.
Great.
He was part of the turnover that led to a big goal in Game 4. We saw what happened last night.
I'm not going to Spotrac for NHL salaries, okay? But I'm just going to start here. Find me the money then. You want Hughes? Okay. You got Kaprizov at the biggest deal in the history of the NHL. Find the money.
I'm still grieving. I haven't gone to Spot Rack yet. You know, we're going to get $8.5 million, I think, added to the cap.
Cool.
We're going to have to give all that to Hughes. So now what?
Well, who doesn't want Hughesy?
No, that's not I want Hughesy.
So I apologize for...
I'm still grieving.
Not understanding the talkback. Maybe I'm stupid.
Shoot the puck, Kirill. Come on.
But you can talk about talking out both sides of your mouth. I'm like, okay, so you want Petrie, Hunt, and Midzi out there more? Well, you know what? Somebody and individuals didn't want Nico Sturm in a sweater for X amount of games. But when you put him in a sweater, what happened? Cup cred. Yeah. Cup cred. One of the better players in the entire game last night. Nico Sturm. Who knew?
That's a cool thing, and we're on the L side of it, and we're grieving because we were born to grieve. There is a cool aspect to series like this when you pick it apart, and it's like, okay, who rises, lights are brightest, backs against the wall, season on the line.
Yep.
They get the playoff according to everybody.
Yep.
And who rises in those moments? And Nico Sturm, hey, we just want a guy. He was pretty good at getting face-offs. That's cool. Cute little addition, bottom six guy, and he mattered.
Who'd you say? Oh, yeah, it's the guy in a $2,000 suit sitting 3 seats away from Russo Radio in the press box during playoff games.
Yeah, he couldn't get on the ice, could he?
Yeah, but when he got on the ice,
it mattered.
Seemed to matter, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I'm trying to...
I'm a Nico Sturm guy. Always have been.
Hey, PN, Nordo, Jerry here. I think the Wild are the most overhyped team in the Metro, to be honest with you. Every season they're quote-unquote one piece away. 2 years ago it was Fleury. This year it was Quinn Hughes. I mean, I guess it's a feel-good first-round win in the playoffs, but when are we going to be tired of Minnesota fans just being happy with one win in the playoffs? Thanks.
Well, who says they're happy about it now? But we're fans.
Well, the reason I got to dig through the talkbacks a little more slowly, I'm catching. I don't think Minnesota fans are happy this time around with just one win or one series W in the playoffs. And if you go back in time and you just think, okay, what's the next step? There was parts of this.
Yeah, but what's next plan?
What is the what's next plan?
Right. Oh, goody.
Kind of. That's busy.
Well, that's where we are.
Busy summer ahead. Busy summer ahead. For Billy G. But at one point there was, at first we just need to get out of the first round. Haven't done that in a decade. And into the Bettman's awful playoff format. Well,
are you kidding me with this?
We're going to be dogs in a series against the Stars, and if we get through the Stars, our reward is we got to face the President's Trophy winners. And so in some respects, like if we
nice format, Bettman.
Let's get through the Stars and have a chip chair and chance and just try to play competently against the Avs. They'll be heavily favored. They got McKinnon and Makar, and that's going to be tough. But then you get here, and then you actually have to live through it. And your emotional perception or your consciousness in the series becomes much different, especially when you score 3 in the first.
Hey, guys. I feel like once the Avalanche made that a one-goal game, it was just inevitable. As a Minnesota sports fan, you almost knew that they were going to score that game-tying goal. And it was just like an empty feeling when it happened. It was like, yep, that's on par. The crazy stat is the Wild are the first team in NHL history to have a 3-0 lead and then have less than 10 shots on goal for the last 2 periods.
I was born to grieve.
I mean, seriously, grieve is all that we do.
Yeah. Grieve is what I do.
Brutal.
Hey, with respect, friends, family members, devotees can stop texting me and can stop tweeting me about which Wild team is either the best or most talented in the history of the franchise. I'm going to go ahead and put a dagger in that right now. And here's how. Because I say The team that gets you the closest to the cup and finds grit and fortitude and tenacity and lacks fear and makes conscious choices. Yeah. The team that has what is unquantifiable inside of it to not lose, that's the best team in the history of this organization, 02-03. But I'm a dagger right here. The Minnesota Wild in 2002 and 2003, the team that went to the Western Conference Finals,
Stop!
had an opening day payroll of $19 million. That was 30th out of 30 teams.
I always love that one.
So they took what was financially least and gave you, the fan, what was memory-making most. And there is your dagger.
This is PA on iHeartRadio and KFAN The Fan.